Un bombardeo desde la flota más grande que ha reunido la Armada.
100 proyectiles por minuto, hasta que se rindan.
¡Santo Dios!
Yes. Well, what happened was originally, many, many years ago, Stephen asked me to be Mary Todd Lincoln, and then so much time went on. And by the time Daniel Day-Lewis was on board, Stephen was no longer certain I was the right one. So I asked Stephen if he would test me, and he did. And so we did a test, and then he still wasn't sure, so Daniel Day-Lewis flew in from Ireland to Los Angeles for the day, and he tested with me. So we were all in the mix, and it was the process that needed to be done to find Mary.
Soy un hombre con prejuicios.
El Congreso no debe declarar iguales a aquellos que Dios ha creado desiguales.
He was living in Ireland, and I was living in California. We began our research separately, he researching his character, me researching mine, and also the era and women at the time, and he's researching, you know, all that he did, reading the letters and trying to understand the language. You know, the only way we would have to contact each other, really, because we live in 2 different time zones in 2 different places, is through, he couldn't call me. That would have been awful anyway. I don't like talking on the phone. Don't anyone call me, ever. I don't like it. And so we text, you know, within character, because that would be a way to have some contact with each other, because we knew we would have very little rehearsal time, or none, because the shooting schedule was very tight, and we had a task to do.
¿Quieres que la Cámara apruebe la enmienda que aboliría la esclavitud? Nadie es tan querido como tú por el pueblo. No malgastes ese poder.
I don't know, because I was Mary Todd, so I didn't see anyone else there but my darling Mr. Lincoln. And I very much doubt he saw anyone else but his darling and very complicated Molly. So I don't know. That's how actors work.
Y el 1 de febrero que viene tengo intención de firmar la 13ª enmienda.
Una contienda como esta es una lucha a muerte. Esos hombres del sur van a venir a negociar la paz.
You know what? Easy is overrated. It was wonderfully complicated and difficult. Wonderfully. I mean, that's what we've trained to do. And to embody the character, you have to work on the interior and the exterior. You have to put as much information in about who she was and her history, and the era in which she lived, the relationship with this man, as much authentic history that you could possibly put in and understand. And you also have to work on the exterior of what she was physically different than I, and that key ingredient was she was very much heavier. So I put on 25 pounds, and that's what you do.
No puedo acabar esta guerra hasta que logremos curarnos de la esclavitud. Esta enmienda es la cura.
Hacen falta 2 síes.
Lárguense y consíganlos.
I think it does speak in a contemporary way about some of the things that are happening in the United States and all over the world, really. It's the fight for democracy. Democracy is messy and complicated and time-consuming, and it takes a look at that. And that relates to the world.
¡Usted insulta a Dios!